This is the story of how a prodigy in the world of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu became a total pariah. Izaak Michell was once hailed as the future of the sport. He was an Australian wunderkind with a relentless style, training with the most dominant figures in modern grappling. He was a champion, an ADCC veteran, and a fixture in the gyms that were literally forging the evolution of no-gi jiu-jitsu. But today, he's an outcast, systematically kicked out of BJJ's most powerful and influential teams. This is the story of his dramatic and shocking fall from grace, a saga of burned bridges, money disputes, public call-outs, and legal threats. It all leads to a final, career-shattering controversy, shrouded in cryptic warnings and serious unspoken allegations that has left him on the outside looking in. How does someone with so much talent, who reached the very pinnacle of the sport, lose it all? This is the complete downfall of Izaak Michell. To really understand the depth of Izaak Michell's fall, you have to appreciate the heights he reached. His story doesn't start in the grappling meccas of Brazil or Southern California, but in Australia. Michell was always an athlete, but he first found martial arts through Muay Thai before the intricate puzzle of Jiu-Jitsu captured his full attention around the age of 16. It was obvious pretty quickly that he wasn't just another hobbyist, he was a natural. Under his first coach, Leo Arruda, he progressed at a blistering pace, earning his purple belt and building a reputation as a gifted and tenacious competitor. The real turning point, though, came in mid-2019 when Michell made the pilgrimage that every aspiring grappler dreams of. He moved to New York City to train under the legendary John Danaher. This was the era of the Danaher Death Squad, or DDS, the most feared and dominant competition team on the planet. That training room was a shark tank, home to names like Gordon Ryan, Gary Tanan, and another promising Aussie, Craig Jones. Michell wasn't just surviving in this elite environment, he was thriving. He hit it off with his fellow countryman, Craig Jones, and that connection would define the next chapter of his career. When the DDS famously broke up, splitting into two new super teams, Michell's choice was clear. He followed Craig Jones to Austin, Texas, to become a founding member of the new B Team. This move cemented his status as a key player in the next generation of elite no-gi specialists. His talent was undeniable. He won the first ever Who's Next Submission Fighter Challenge, a reality show on Flow Grappling that earned him a cool $10,000 and a 3-match WNO contract. He became an ADCC veteran, competing on the sport's biggest stage, and even walked away with the Match of the Tournament award at ADCC 2022. He was a force. Michell's style was a mix of relentless wrestling and a sophisticated submission game, all sharpened in the most intense training rooms in the world. He was a standout on the WNO stage and an IBJJF World No-Gi champion at brown belt. To the outside world, he was on a clear path to superstardom. He had the skills, the awards, and the affiliation with a team that was not only winning, but also dominating the jiu-jitsu media landscape with its laid-back, anti-establishment vibe. He was a core part of B Team's identity, a rising star in a gym full of them. But behind the scenes, the first cracks were starting to show. The brotherhood that had launched him into the spotlight was about to shatter, marking the first public sign of the chaos that would soon define his career. In early 2023, the jiu-jitsu community started buzzing with rumors. Izaak Michell, a key figure and founding member of B Team, had suddenly vanished from the gym's orbit. His face disappeared from their social media, and he was nowhere to be seen in the team's popular YouTube videos. The silence was deafening until Craig Jones, B Team's co-founder and Michell's former mentor, went on Reddit to clear the air. His explanation was blunt, and it all came down to business. He explained they hired other instructors like Michell and paid them a handsome rate of $75 per class. But according to Jones, that wasn't enough. He wrote, "Despite the good pay, People felt they deserved ownership in the gym and wanted more recognition. He then clarified what happened. Those problems spiraled into personal issues, and one guy left, one was fired. The guy who was fired, as Jones would later confirm, was Izaak Michell. Another instructor, Nick Ortiz, also left around the same time under separate but equally tense circumstances, painting a picture of serious growing pains inside the supposedly carefree super team. Jones later opened up more about the personal fallout. He described his relationship with Michelle as more like brothers than friends, adding, "As we all know, no arguments are as bad as those within a family." This wasn't just a simple workplace dispute. It was the end of a deep, personal bond. Jones admitted that a lack of communication let small problems fester and that he'd handle things differently in the future. But the heart of the issue remained. A fight over money, equity, and recognition had destroyed a brother-like friendship and ended with Michelle being kicked off the team he helped build. Michelle, for his part, confirmed on Instagram he'd been apparently fired, but added that he had no intention of sticking around either. The public back and forth showed just how deep and bitter the split was. Michelle, once an insider, was now out. Leaving B Team wasn't just a change of address. It was a huge blow to his career, cutting him loose from one of the sport's most visible brands. What seemed like a dramatic one-off event at the time was, looking back, a massive red flag and a dark omen of the trouble still to come. After the nasty split from B Team, Izaak Michel's career was in limbo. For a top-tier athlete, your team and training environment are everything. Cut off from the project he'd been with from the start, everyone wondered, where would he go next? The answer was a surprise, and at first it looked like a major comeback. Michel went back to his former coach, John Danaher, and joined his new team, known as New Wave Jiu-Jitsu. This was a pretty incredible turn of events. New Wave was the other half of the old Danaher Death Squad, and home to B Team's biggest rival, Gordon Ryan, who is widely seen as the greatest no-gi grappler of all time. Just being accepted into this group was a huge testament to Michel's talent. It was a clear sign that, despite the drama at B Team, his skills were just too valuable to ignore. He was now training daily with the best of the best, seemingly landing on his feet and setting himself up for an even bigger run. For a minute, it looked like the B Team firing was just a bump in the road. But the past has a way of catching up. The bad blood from his last breakup was about to explode in a very public and damaging way. Craig Jones, his former friend, was now also a major promoter with his own high-stakes event, the Craig Jones Invitational, or CJI. In mid-2025, just before the second tournament, Gordon Ryan accused Craig Jones of deliberately blocking Michel from competing on the New Wave team. Michel confirmed it himself on social media, posting, "For all those asking why I didn't compete on CJI, Danaher and Gordon invited me to compete on Team New Wave, but I was blocked from competing in these CJI events. So why? Why would a promoter block a competitor of Michel's caliber, especially one backed by legends like Danaher and Ryan?" The answer, once again, came from Craig Jones. Responding to the drama on his podcast and with his usual bluntness on Reddit, Jones revealed the problem had gone way beyond gym politics. He stated, "Izaak threatened to sue me over his visa I sponsored. I gave him time to find a new sponsor. I will never sign a contract with him again for any entity I own. It ain't that deep." This was a bombshell. The fallout wasn't just personal anymore, it was legal. Sponsoring a visa for an international athlete is a serious commitment, and the claim that Michel threatened a lawsuit over it explained the severity of the ban. It showed a complete and total breakdown of trust. Jones, one of the most powerful people in the sport, had now publicly blacklisted Michel from any event he owned. This was far more damaging than the B Team firing. It showed that the bridges weren't just burned, they were nuked from orbit. Michell was now getting a reputation not just for being difficult, but for being willing to threaten legal action against his former partners. In the tight-knit world of pro jiu-jitsu, where relationships are currency, this was a catastrophic red flag. He still had a home at New Wave, but the storm clouds were gathering. The final, career-ending deluge was still on its way. After being exiled from B Team and publicly banned from the Craig Jones Invitational, Izaak Michell's last safe harbor was with John Danaher and Gordon Ryan's team, which had since rebranded as Kingsway Jiu-Jitsu. This was, without a doubt, the #1 team in no-gi grappling. As long as he was under the wing of Danaher and Ryan, his career, though tarnished, was still alive. He was still in the most elite training room on the planet. That all came to an abrupt and ominous end in December 2025. Gordon Ryan, a guy whose every social media post is dissected by the grappling world, made a short, chilling announcement on Instagram. The post simply said that Izaak Michell was no longer part of Kingsway Jiu-Jitsu, but it was the last sentence that sent the community into a frenzy. Ryan wrote, "We have been advised that no further details should be made public at this time." That one phrase, "we have been advised," was heavy. That isn't the language you use for a simple falling out over training. That's the language of lawyers. It immediately suggested the reasons for Michell's removal were so serious that the team was under strict orders not to talk, implying the matter could involve police or legal action. The cryptic post created an information vacuum, which was instantly filled with rampant speculation. Then, things escalated dramatically. Craig Jones, Michell's original mentor and now his biggest critic, jumped into the conversation. He posted a series of explosive and deeply concerning warnings on his social media. In one story, he posted a picture of Michell with a blunt caption advising people to contact the proper authorities if you have been a victim of this man. This wasn't about money or contracts anymore. This was a direct and alarming accusation about Michell's personal conduct. The implication was clear and horrifying. While Jones stopped short of making an explicit accusation of a specific crime, he was using his massive platform to issue what he felt was a public safety warning about his former friend. The combination of Kingsway's legally cautious silence and Jones's direct warnings created a perfect storm. It's vital to be clear that as of right now, no formal charges have been publicly announced, and there have been no official legal findings. The specific details that led to his removal from Kingsway are still unconfirmed. However, the actions of the sport's most powerful figures spoke volumes. In the world of combat sports, where reputation is everything, being fired by Gordon Ryan's team and publicly condemned by Craig Jones is a career death sentence. Reports soon followed that Michell had left the country and flown to Phuket, Thailand, in the aftermath. In less than 2 years, Izaak Michell had been ejected from the Danaher Death Squad, fired from B Team over money, banned from the CJI over legal threats, and now, finally, expelled from Kingsway Jiu-Jitsu amid a storm of implied sexual misconduct allegations. He had successfully alienated himself from every major power player in his world. The prodigy had become a pariah. The final nail had been hammered into the coffin of his career in the elite grappling scene. From DDS to B Team to New Wave to Kingsway, he has been kicked out of every top-tier team he was ever a part of. Today, Izaak Michell is in exile. He is an athlete with undeniable world-class talent, but he has no home. He's been blacklisted by one of the sport's biggest promoters and fired by its most dominant team. The very people who built him up, Danaher, Jones, and Ryan, have all, one by one, publicly cut ties with him. The story of Izaak Michell is about more than just one man's mistakes. It highlights how, in a close-knit community like jiu-jitsu, your reputation and character can be just as valuable as your skill. Promoters and teams are waking up to the risks of being associated with athletes surrounded by controversy, especially when the allegations are serious. Kingsway's decision to remove him and stay silent, paired with Craig Jones's public warnings, shows a shift toward protecting the community and the business over sheltering a talented competitor. This whole situation raises tough but necessary questions about due process and accountability in a sport still figuring out how to handle these issues. How does the community protect people while also respecting the legal process? How much should be said publicly when lawyers are advising silence? For Izaak Michell, the path back to the top seems impossible. The trust is gone, the alliances are shattered, and the warnings from his former colleagues will hang over his head forever. He stands as a stark example that no amount of talent can save you when you've alienated everyone who ever offered you a hand. His story is a tragedy of wasted potential, a chronicle of how to lose everything, one bad decision at a time. What are your thoughts on this situation and how teams and promoters are handling it? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video informative and want more deep dives into the world of combat sports, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.